Yeah, he's doing it. He's getting out of there. He's getting out of dodge. And it looks like the main squad on the west has caused a distraction for the eastern squad to move up. That's HML.
Yep. HML is now on the walls. They've got plenty of people on the wall. They can just start tossing grenades and pushing through these guys. But it's not going to be an easy task with so many defenses they've got to push through. But they're making it work. They've got at least 2-3 kills so far.
Karma's being aggressive here. He's pushing right up against the fence where there is Russians. He kills one with his SKS.
Behind.
He saw him. He saw him through the hole in that wall.
And yeah, Karma kills another one as well. Push almost.
Check out my website at karmakut.com to see system specs, donation links, and latest uploads all in one place. You can also get cool rewards like Karmakut patches and key tags on my Patreon. And don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell button for future uploads.
Hello everybody, and welcome back for round 2, session 2 of our Saturday, June 30th event, Operation Arrowhead. I am your commentator for this evening's Shattered Ritual, joined today by XF. How's it going, XF?
It's going great, thanks for asking.
And after a really action-packed round where we had mortars with 8+ kills, we had vehicles just zooming in and just driving it down people's throats, and great infantry. We're expecting another great round as we have swapped sides. And we'll go ahead and go over platoon leads since we are talking about swapping sides. For the Russian side, we have platoon commander or platoon leader Dwarf with squad leads HML, Hero, Atomic Peach, and Sugarheart. For the militia, we have command for platoon lead Karmakut with his squad leads Sphinx, Fulcrum, Silent, and Pain 12B. Great work on both sides. Karma's side, they had great infantry, great vehicle movement with Sphinx and Karmakut commanding a vehicle each. Fulcrum, Silence squad made great bases of fire and great, essentially arrowheads as they pushed into these into the objective. And Pain squad was a great flanking squad until they eventually hooked up. Dwarf squad did a great job being on the outside for the most part, having a very wide defense that was questionable at first, but it managed to almost work out for the most part. They just had some very not unlucky spots, but they were spotted because of the diligence and security from Karma's platoon, and it really worked out for Karma's platoon in favor. We'll see how they managed. We'll see how the Russians managed to use their assets this time. For the assets, Russian squad, or the Russian platoon, for each squad they get 2 automatic riflemen, 1 light anti-tank, 1 grenade launcher, and 1 medic per squad. They also get a weapon squad that has 2 SL kits, so they get an extra pair of binoculars, 2 fire team leads, 2 machine gunners, 2 medium machine guns, 2 light anti-tanks, and 1 medic. For the vehicles, they get a BTR-80, an MTLB NSVT, a trans, and they get 1 Logi with any load, depending on how they want to use their whether they get more ammo or more supplies. For the militia, we get 2 automatic riflemen, 1 light anti-tank, and 1 medic per squad. And for the platoon, they get 2 medium machine guns and 4 engineers. For the vehicles, they get 3 Logi trucks that can run constantly. They get 1 SPG techie and 1 techie of any kind, whether that be the rocket techie or the Dishka techie, armored or unarmored. And they, for their strong point that they decide to choose, they get 1 mortar, 2 HMGs, 1 SPG, and various defensive structures depending on how they want to build up their points. So the objective of this, nobody's spawned in yet. Cool. We haven't missed a brief. So the objective of this mission, we're going to go ahead and bring up the map, is there are several points that the militia can choose from, and it basically forms the shape of an arrowhead. The militia decide to defend whichever grid spot they choose. The last time the militia decided to pick the G6 keypad, and it looks like the militia have chosen the center of the arrowhead at about the H8 area, very wide open area.
I know MCOD going north, sorry.
And whatnot before rather than like strong pointing buildings. Right.
Yeah.
We should be going. I think we're just going over platoon briefs, or sorry, the command brief right now, as while Dwarf sort of briefs his squad leads for the general plan before he has the remainder of his platoon come in for a full platoon brief.
Yeah, so we got a little bit left. So yeah, like as you can notice here, for people who do play squad, there is a little bit of changes for us on the map. You'll notice the biggest difference. You can't quite see it right now, but for map markers, only the SLs and our FTLs, which is a special kit that the participants can go and select, and our medics appear. Everything else is no longer appearing on the map. Same with the vehicles. If you notice, like this BTR, they're not on the map. None of them are. So it's just some small minor tweaks to make it a little more challenging. Also some new kits as well, like the FTL, like mentioned. And also we have the engineer down on the Russian side. You can see they get a AT mine, I believe 10 sandbags and 11 barbed wire. So they got plenty of stuff to price down, as well as a breacher class, which gives them effectively a IED that's on a timer. So that is a very nice thing to go and breach buildings with.
All right.
It looks like we're about to roll
Yeah, come over
into
to
the Russian brief.
Side.
Dorf is gathering up his guys for the brief, and let's go ahead and
Everyone
listen,
hears
and
me
we'll see
here?
how what he decides to do
Everyone here
with
is
his
here.
assets and his platoon as a whole.
Well, guys, that was a good. I mean, you guys all did a really good job. Unfortunately, we got screwed for a number of reasons. One being all our lads seem to have disconnected or unfortunately hit their own mines.
Sorry,
Things
guys.
happen. That's fine. Things happen.
It's all your fault.
It was a close game. If it weren't for their vehicles, we probably would have won, hands down. Anyways, this time we gotta go fight the dirty militia locals that are trying to go against the Russian fist. To do that, to take out the threat that the locals possess, where am I at? Shugart in Squad 1 will be loading up into an MTLB with HML and myself in Alaji, and we'll be going to the sniper mark in Hotel 451. At the same time, in a BTR and possibly a transport truck, Hero and Atomic Peach will be going to the green fob marker in West Petrivka, located at Fox 596. From there, they will stand by and wait, clear out West Petrivka at the same time we're clearing out North Petrivka. In North Petrivka, we'll set up a fire base where we'll have mortars. And from there, once we get everything set up, we'll start pushing south. First to Gulf 6, clear out Gulf 6, and it's at the same time clearing out Hotel 6. And then India 6 or India 5, whatever that is. And then from there, we'll keep pushing south to the Hotel 7 area. And east of that, at India 7, then we'll go down, get Gulf 8, I-8, then E9, Echo 9, or Fox 9, or whatever it is. So basically just a north to south push, 2 squads supporting each other simultaneously. Should be simple. Each team has a BTR or MTLB to support them. Priorities for us, are killing any Lodi trucks that we come across. Certainly any technicals. Technicals are big. We got to make sure we kill them, and lats. So any anti-take asset that we see, we need to eliminate it right away. Any questions?
Question?
Yeah.
That means the ROE on anti-vehicle assets is shoot on sight.
It's if you can kill it, and you're positive you can kill it, then you can shoot it. You're free to shoot it. I
Copy.
don't want people taking 200-meter shots just because they see the enemy. I like it when people are guaranteed to shoot and kill an enemy if they're doing it at distance. Like if you're gonna one-tap someone. That's appropriate. Any other questions? None? No questions? Alright. Squad
good.
leader. Nope, you're good. Go away. Squad leader's all yours.
And BTR. Right. I got the logic. Okay, transport and BTR.
Alrighty, so that was Commander Dorf's brief, and it is a very reserved plan. Going ahead and getting set up on the north side of the map and then pushing south. I like it, and make sure that his men is, you know, not going to die right away. However, I can see them being slowed down later on, and that's something that previous round Karma showed that he did not want to do. Whenever they got into contact, Karma told him to push through, or he got a flanking force to go and eliminate that contact as soon as possible, so that they don't get held up and they lose people out in the field, not on the objective. So it was a very nice move on Karma's part to go ahead and take that initiative. And with Dorf's plan, he's got to really focus on that as well.
Yeah, he's got to keep up the aggression. Karma was adamant about not taking not favorable fights for them, as they, like when Silent Squad at the beginning of last round got cut out in the woods, and they definitely, the other squad was set up in like buildings and they had walls in front of them. He is very adamant about hold your position, hold up the M2B, had the squad pull back, and then they had the M2B pull away, and that really kept their squad alive for a long time.
You have pretty short on people.
Alrighty,
We're
so
live at 1:40, so live in about 4-ish minutes, 5-ish minutes.
So if you're liking what you're seeing here, you can go and join us at squadops.gg. You can find us there. That's our website. You can sign up for these events. It's got all the information you need to go and join us there. If you like the stream, you can go ahead and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/squadops. Same thing with YouTube, youtube.com/squadops. And you see these streams a lot more regularly of these operations every Wednesday and Saturday, that is.
And we have 2 sessions on Saturdays.
Yep. Looking at chat real fast. We have this. Who's this? Hydro. Any ideas on when those new kits will be added to the public servers? They will never be added to the public servers. This is just our mod, and we can't add those type of assets to public servers. And the only thing we could do is when modding V2 comes out, we can put on custom layers and custom maps. That's all. We can't really do anything else. No kits or anything like that.
So I think a big factor that Dorf should play off of is his Logi and his mortars that the Russians get. They do get a mortar, and Karma flipped his vehicle last round, so they didn't actually get to use any offensive mortars, whether it be smoke or HE. So and with how Dorf was commanding the mortars last time, I'm expecting some good stuff out of him.
Hey, it didn't happen to me, right?
Yeah, Dorf was very accurate from his mortars, or with his mortars.
And that's not only on Dwarf. Dwarf was the man manning the mortars and sending the rounds out. That had a lot to do with his squad leads and them calling out accurate grids and guiding in the rounds effectively. Because it really, like, if Dwarf's just staring at a map, he can't tell what's going on. It's really got to be the eyes that are on the field, and that fell to his, like, Sughard and Atomic Peach and friends who were giving out those calls.
Yeah, they did a huge job on that with just reporting where their contacts are and getting mortars on target as soon as possible.
We get onboard snacks.
So we got the bomb asking over on Karma's channel. Hey Karma, what server are you on? I'm playing squad. We are actually not on any public server. We're on our event server. We're on Squad Ops event server. If you want to join these events, however, and play with Karma, you can go ahead and sign up at squadops.gg and join on the events that are hosted every Wednesday and Saturday.
Please don't do that.
Whoa,
Dang,
guys.
boss.
Okay, stop.
Operator
2
Juice,
minutes.
Is that you?
Yep, just under 2 minutes to go. All vehicles are lined up out the gate, ready to go. Looks like Hero's squad is going to take the MTLB. Lawn Dart squad is going to, or Lawn Dart squad is going to take the MTLB. Hero's squad is going to take the BTR. Atomic Peach is in the transport, and Dwarf is in the lodging.
And get more ammo for it.
Hey, Dorf.
We might have a long time to contact here as the Russians are playing such a reserved gameplay style. I'll go and fly over real fast if you want to keep an eye on the Russians. I'll go look over at the militia side to see what they're building now.
It's all gonna come down to their defensive structures. He put the spot that Karma has chosen is very close and very easy to resupply from, and so they're gonna have to put down a metric shit ton of sandbags and the oil barrels and things like that if they want to stand a chance against these MTLB and BTR. Because if they can get on an angle where they are far enough away, they can just lay down fire with no remorse, as the militia just is basically forced to just cower down behind those structures.
Yeah, they have all these wooden structures. Look, they're actually trying to build up right now. They have mortars going down as well, so they are going to be using those. I'm not sure if they're having any protection off the map though. No, they are getting some barbed wire up. It looks like main trees, so the Russians can't use them as cover. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Yeah, they're putting barbed wire down at every single main tree. Huh, I don't think I've ever seen that before. We've got a Dishka watching over the road here. Very nice position for them. We are live. It is go time for these militia.
Live. And right off the bat, it looks like, I believe Dorf said he wanted to go switch out the ammo. He definitely doesn't want all of those build points. He's probably only going to get enough for maybe 1, 2 mortars, and then the rest is just going to be ammo points. Or at least that's what I would do. And I assume Dorf is capable enough to understand that.
I figured it out.
Rich asking over on Karma's channel, who is this? This is XF speaking currently, joined by Shadowed Ritual. Actually, Shadowed Ritual is technically the host.
Yeah, we are the co-commentators for this evening, Shadow Ritual and XF, and we're here providing a Squad Ops One Life event, or commentating a Squad Ops One Life event. This is Operation Arrowhead, and we have just started. BTR for the Russians have taken point, as the rest of the Russians follow behind, and we'll see if Militia decides to send out scouts. Unfortunately for the last round, the SPG that got sent out as a scout was spotted almost right off of the bat, and I'd like to see that SPG be used a little more effectively. To be fair, it was not all on the SPG's fault. It was just a matter of wrong place, wrong time for that SPG. It looked like it was trying to be sneaky, but the BTR just really rolled into it, and there's nothing they could do.
So it looks like on the far south side, where there is a slight hill that watches over the main town they've chosen, they're setting up some sandbag pillboxes, just kind of in random, sporadic areas where they can watch over this main defilade that I think the Russians are going to be approaching from. However, Dorf's plan is mostly, I believe it's western-sided, is what he was going off of. So we'll see how well those pillboxes actually play out later on.
Is this Karma or who? Rich Gamer? We are neither of us is Karma. I am Shadow Ritual, and this is XF. Karmakut is playing though. If you're just joining us, you missed hearing his comms directly. He was on the Russian side last round, but this time he is in charge of the militia forces as they dig in for the inevitable Russian assault.
Yep. So here's actually Karma right now. He's running around. He's probably going over to each one of his SL's positions, seeing how they're doing, and inspecting their defenses that they're building up, or maybe going over to help build up some other plans.
Alex Terrier, what is this map? This map is Yeho Rivka AASV2, slightly modded. We have added a fair amount of fog. It's not as bad on the higher ground, but as you get to the west side of the map where the ground gets low, that fog gets really thick. So But
Alright,
for
Peach,
the
Peach,
most part,
send
it's
my
just
guys
going to be
patrol
a
you
light
and
layer of
follow.
fog as
Okay.
the militia or Russians dismount and they start their push south. They're not as west as I think Dwarf wanted them to be, but they're just going to push. They're going to start pushing south from the north part of the map.
Alpha,
It's
go
going to
ahead and
be
move up to
a
the east side of the road.
Long
and
comms.
fair
see
amount.
what's- Sorry.
It's going to be a fair amount of time before they come into contact. They got about a kilometer to walk if they're going to walk from here. And this is where they're going to set up the mortars. And what's the range of the mortar? About 1,400 meters?
I believe so. I believe it's the max range, somewhere around the 1,200 to 500 range.
44, you got anything? See any eyes south?
It looks like this is where they're going to set up the mortars just in range,
no,
almost
just
barely. Barely.
Roger.
Whoa,
184,
it's
you're free
cutting it
to
close.
push it
It's cutting it
south.
really close. I'd like to see that mortar
2
get
and
pushed up to
3,
their
same
old position
thing,
that they
push
had
south.
chosen at the G687,
Make sure
compound,
the two guys with
just
you.
a couple hundred meters
Yeah.
south. But I
You
can
know-
respect the discipline and put it this far back.
I remember setting up some mortars for one of our SNSs for Eurivka,
Right now.
and
Alright, one, we're gonna
I
wait
think
for
I
you,
put my
so you're
mortars
gonna
like
start
right over
pushing
here where
south.
mouse is at the corner of J9 or
Here.
J9 J8 that area, and I could just barely reach where their fob is right now. So I think just by a pure strike of luck, the militia are going to be in range of those mortars.
It's going to be just pure max range mortars. That barrel is almost parallel to the ground. And they start to dig. And it'll be a minute. They're not going to fire blindly, I would expect. They're going to wait to get eyes on from they're going to expect to get eyes on the militia.
So yeah, it looks like they're just building up more supplies, or since they're so close to airfield, I think that's why Karma chose this location, is they're so close to Militia Main that they can set down as many supply or as many defensive structures as they want. So you can see they're spanning the more expensive stuff, like these wood structures, these wooden walls.
Oh, you're right. They're not oil barrels. They're like wooden walls.
Oh, it looks like one. Oh no, there we go. It's going up. Thought they dug it away.
It's actually very. That's going to help with the camouflage. I was thinking the oil barrels are going to stick out and you're going to immediately tell. But if you're not paying attention, you could easily just zoom right by a pile of wood if it didn't have any sandbags above it.
I mean, it is blending in with the trees as it is wood, so that would make a lot of sense.
HML, try to get you to avoid the.
Kia saying over on our Twitch, we switch sides. Yes, so
Yeah, I'm making
we stay on the same side. So we're still on the Russian side. So all the blue are the Russians, all the red is the militia. However, the commands, SLs, everyone playing currently have swap sides.
Clear out.
It gives everybody a chance to play both sides, and not all of our ops are pure 50-50 ops. Some of our ops are more one-sided towards the defender or the attacker, depending on the situation. And so we like people to play on both sides, so they get a feel for the situation. Because that's just life. Not everything is always going to be equal, but we do like to allow you to play it out on both sides. Is the mortar calculator allowed? I believe, Grand Narwhal, the mortar calculator is allowed because it's just basic math. If you can do math, that just expedites the process. But the mortar calculator is allowed, but it still comes down to calling out correct grids and giving out good corrections to guide in said mortars.
Alright,
Yeah, and I think the beauty of those mortars being almost max range
We're holding.
is that they're not going to have to spread their mortars out as much to get a good effect on target. You know, you don't want to have your mortars completely concentrated in one tiny little grid square. You know, you want them to be really spread out.
Ready for mortar.
And I think that's going to be the
Mortar
huge
next.
benefit of them being at max range, is they don't really have to spread out that much.
Sprint through lanes, come on, man.
Yeah, platoons stay the same. Paradox is correct. The command and the squad leads stay the same for each round. They just swap sides, and so
Anyone hear
do
that
like the members
explosion?
in said platoons and squads. The commentator is the only one, just for convenience sake.
I heard something far
We
south.
stay on
Far
the
south.
Russian side for both rounds. We generally like to stay on the attacker's side, just because they have the more interesting comms as they move and maneuver and get in position. Right now, the only comms you'll be hearing from the militia is buildings, and what they're putting down and things along those lines. So we'd much rather hear the troop movement commands and the reports from that.
But just in a little bit, you'll hear from the militia RPGs going off, 7.62, 5.45, just covering up the air. And I think Karma might use his mortars a lot more than what he was allowed last round. As well, he never got any mortars. His logi got flipped over right at the beginning.
Yeah, no mortars were allowed to be set up for Karma, as he had flipped his logi, and eventually he just gave the call. They were trying to unflip it, but Karma just gave the call. You're a pure weapon squad now. Let's just get moving. Let's not give the militia time to build, and that was a great job for them because the militia had very sparse defenses on the actual point.
All right, we've secured down to the intersection in I-6.
Say again?
We've secured
These
down to
Russians
the
are taking it
intersection
extremely slow to clear out all the area. And yeah, they're looking for mines as well. It's going to take them forever to move down to the militia.
Yeah,
They're
they've only
going
moved about
unbelievably slow.
600 meters. Got another 600 to go.
Currently clearing lower
How do
part.
you prevent stream sniping, Carson Clark? We don't really have a way to prevent stream sniping, but it's not very useful to stream snipe, just because there's a natural delay on the stream, and it's you still need to be able to see the guy and shoot him,
Possibly clear.
and it's very difficult to make decisions on your own. And if you're clearly stream sniping and moving off on your own, our event admins will spot you and you will be banned. And that's straight up. It's just not worth it. It's all for the spirit of the operation, of just having a nice clean game,
On the
and
wrong
it's really all about the experience. Because I assure you, even these guys in the last round, when they lost, it was still an amazing experience as they had to try and defend the Russian onslaught.
Either way, you end up having a great fight, win or lose. I know occasionally you will get the round where you get one tapped at 200 meters and you're the first one to die, but still you're still able to get into admin cam and fly around the map by yourself and check out what we're checking out right now, this third person view. So it is still a lot of fun to be able to kind of be your own commentator, if you could say it that way.
Is clear of contacts.
I think they need to move faster. Alex, I agree. They definitely need to pick up the speed before the militia get a chance to get so many defenses set up that it's going to be impossible for the Russians to push through.
Oh, I think everyone knows Karma for his Superfobs, and if Dorf gives him time, he's going to have one heck of a Superfob, and it's already looking pretty massive.
Use your BR to get eyes to both the south.
They're just now getting ready to cross the street.
However, I can't say, the western side, which is where they're going to be coming from, I think they're in a really bad position, and they don't have that many defenses built up. They need a lot more defenses and something linking them to a fallback point of some sorts. Otherwise, this entire squad is going to get mowed down.
Slow and over to everyone. If you get any kind of contact, call it up right away. Give me a grid.
I'm always
Drop more
paranoid
down.
about stream sniping. Yeah, I bet everybody's a little paranoid about stream sniping sometimes, but I mean, we'd rather have the chat experience and the more live experience for you guys watching, who are playing honestly. And eventually, if you are stream sniping, you will be spotted, you will be caught, and our event admins who do a great job will catch you.
Because you're FTL and can talk to command directly.
I'm shifting my guys
But-
onto the
5 a.m. for me. I want to see this
Mortar.
battle. Hey, 6, you probably got about, I'd say about 5 to 10 more minutes of maneuvering before we actually come into contact. It looks like Squad 2, Atomic Peach's squad for the Russians, is the on point as they move south. And they're starting to get rather separated from the other Russians. I'd like to see them slow down just a little bit to close the gap. Or actually, I'd much prefer the Russians to speed up that are on either side of his flank. Atomic Peach is running at a good pace right now. I'd like to see him spread out, though, just because how effective the mortars were last round, where Dwarf took out 3 and 4 people at a time. They should definitely be hammering into their guys' heads that just stay spread out. Just stay spread out.
Looks like Karma is building an entire wall of razor wire to cover the valley approach. It is an entire wall. I think he's going for the long haul right now. just to see how much barbed wire he can get down. And he has a time for it, so why not?
Barbed wire is very effective now too, since it's almost impossible to move in it. And like you have to deal with it. You can no longer just walk through it and take a little bit of damage. You have to deal with it, or you're just about dead by the time you get through to the other side. Desert Dog, how many leaders are actually military trained? Not everybody is active duty or retired military, but we do have a fair few amount of people who are active duty. Like among the managers, I know Pugachev and Hyper Evo are both active duty. I think in this session alone, I think Dwarf is actually active military. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Dwarf is actually active military.
He's part of an armored division, if I'm correct. Yeah,
so
I think
we do have
he
several
mans.
active duty military in our squad ops community.
Further south, and wait for squad 4 to catch up.
Roger that. We're going to the Southern Rocks.
Alex asking over on Karma's YouTube, is this game awesome? Yes, I love this game. I have over 1,500 hours in it, I think. I think I've reached like 1,700 now. And every single match is different. There's very rarely that there's in a map where it's identical to a previous one.
Or movement, at least.
Hero, from your presence up there on the
Will there be
hill,
squad ops
you
events
should be
on
able to see
postscriptum
his-
too, Carson?
into Cop 8
The answer is
and
not
House
no.
9.
That's as far as we can tell you. We want to let postscriptum get a little further along before we make a full decision.
And then we're going to hold...
Or at least half a fox.
That is the vague answer that you get for
VTR
that.
is currently in the area.
We will have a public server on postscriptum, but as for ops,
Oh, Roger.
the answer is not no.
I think Postscriptum officially releases in what, like 20 days-ish now? Something like that?
Yeah, just
It's
idea.
pretty dang close to going out forever for you to play whenever you want, instead of just the playtest.
West side, and I'll be in the middle.
Oh, release date is July 18th, so yeah, about 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks.
Since we haven't seen anything yet, I would expect contact in India.
Atomic Peach's squad is on point. Reached the second set of crossroads and about to come into contact. They should see people soon.
Honestly.
Is Atomic Peach the weapon squad?
That's
He has another
possibility,
squad
probably
lead
using
kit with him.
the
Let me
storage
double check this.
facility
Yeah, Atomic Peach
itself.
on point with the weapon squad. That is
I
ballsy
have
to say the
some sort
least,
of
because
eyes
I
on
would want to
storage,
keep
I'm
this
not seeing
squad
anything.
pretty far back and allow the rest of the Russians to take
Only some
point
part
and
of the
then
facility,
get
though.
these guys in a position to lay down a
I
base of
post
fire.
with that southwest corner. Southwest corner of storage facility is
No, Squad is not a mobile game. I'm pretty sure your phone would
that area.
fry into a crisp if you try to play
I
this
think
game on
this is
mobile.
moddable. Squad moddable, and yes, my
Or sorry,
co-crew
Echo 9.
Squad is moddable, and we're
Oh,
actually
moddable,
using a
yes.
Squad Ops mod.
Yes, I read that wrong.
Yes, no, it is. We are actually using a Squad Ops custom map. Well, it's not a. We've
Custom
changed some
layer.
of the elements. Yeah, custom layer, and this is a custom. Like we have custom kits in here and things like that.
Yeah,
It's
so we got a lot
spotted.
more fog on this layer, and for the kits, I mean, just to kind of go off of the basis for the more conventional factions like Russia and British and the Americans, they get what's called a breacher, which is like a timed IED, but it's really a satchel charge filled with C4, and the engineer, which gets a lot of sandbags they can place down in barbed wire, plus they get mines that they also can place down to be counters to vehicles, reduction in optics, and all that beautiful stuff. We are working on some pretty awesome stuff later on for the mod, like maybe suppressors soon.
6-8.
Sounds like mortars are going to go about H8, 6-8, I believe is what his grid was. H8, 6.
Hey, what do you want to do in here?
Just close. Yeah, it's close. It is almost directly on the spot. I like that. I like that call. I'd like to see mortars go out in that area, and then it could easily be
Do a
guided in by
quick
Atomic
partial
Peach. Who's in
clearing of
prime
village,
position to guide in these mortars.
On the quickly clear the west half of the village, then
Where
come
is
back
our
in and push off.
MTLB and
I
BTR
guarantee you they have
currently?
contact,
I think I see
guys on Coyote Ridge.
I think it's the
They're engaged
MTLB over
with
here with
Coyote Ridge,
Digit,
easy.
Squad 1.
I haven't seen a single movement.
Is this server 50v50? No, that is not currently active in squad. Like squad has not released an update that allows us to go 50 versus 50 yet.
We are almost at a full server, save for event admins on either side, and then 2 spots for us to commentate from. We are almost at a full server, minus I believe like 4 or 5 people.
For the area Novo.
I cannot find this BTR. Where did he run off to? My name tag's up and everything. I can't find him.
2, you only see sandbags.
There is this one squad that is, man, what is that? 600 meters out from main contact here? That is quite the ways away.
Okay, so give me another grid.
I'd like to see squad 3 and squad 4 or squad 2 and squad 4 for the Russians are in really good spots to at least lay down a base of fire. But I'd like to see squad 1 and squads 3 push in just a little more before they decide to push in. Hotel 8, 9, 3, 3, 1. They're gonna mortar right just north of where the main compound is, where squads 4 and squads 4 and 1 for the militia are. And mortar should be splashing here soon. They just said mortars are going out. Let's watch this splash. And look at this compound there.
So we're gonna move the fob up.
If squad is squad only for NA players, no. There is, I know for a fact, EU servers that are mostly German or French. I'm not sure about any other languages, but I'm sure you can find like a Spanish server or stuff like that. This is just a crazy fortification that Karma's built. There is an insane amount of mortar bunkers.
He does not want to be mortared to death, and I agree with him. This is a little excessive, but that's Karma in a nutshell. How many total in a server? Keo Johnston. I believe the servers can go up to 40-40 max right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bard, who's our mixed with background. We can go up to 40v40, so an 80-man total in a server.
They're at Hotel
And that is what we run on our servers. It's a Karma fort.
Hotel 869.
So, looks like, yeah, we've been over 20 minutes in now since live time was 1:40, and it's now like almost 1:19. So Karma has the ability to build up anything he wanted for a whole 20 minutes now, which is it's going to be insane. This is not going to be an easily attackable fob.
Hey, Dorf, to reiterate,
Mortar's going out.
I'd very much like to see the fire team or the squad shift west. I think that's going to be their angle of approach, is just swing west, get into I believe it's the Neva city, and then push into and push in from the rear. Oh, mortars, smoke mortars, not killing anybody.
Oh, I fucked this up pretty bad. The mortars.
Definitely marking the position of the mortars.
And these Russians, they're running down the hill now.
Very wisely, their position was clearly given away by them dropping smoke for some reason. I assume that was meant to be an HE round.
Yeah, now there's HE.
Yep, that was supposed to be an HE round. The smoke gave them time to clear out. Now there's nobody in that position. I think they only lost 1 in the engagement. Yeah, Klausa goes down, but a majority of them still up. Karma's just gonna go crazy with mortars. There's no reason not to. He's gonna have almost an immediate, almost an infinite amount of ammo as long as they can keep these supplies going. It's gonna be up to the MTLB and the BTR to destroy to cut off these flashes.
Vehicle support here.
Looks like the squad on the far west have moved up and are moving south.
Okay, HML. They're mortaring my old position.
Yep, this is squad 3. A majority of squad 3. I believe they have more people. Yeah, Hero in charge of the
Hero, how's it going?
BTR rolling through Neva can cut off the lodging soon. Oh, they may spot this logi. They may spot this logi.
Second
I think they are. They're definitely gonna spot this logic.
Gun's not looking. There it goes. Gun's looking. There it goes.
It's down to yellow. You better not follow that cookie though, otherwise for sure.
Don't get greedy.
BTRs
Don't
will
get
be-
greedy.
Don't keep them going that way.
No, no, turn off. Turn off. Get out of there.
Dishka's looking their way. I know there's a ladder there as well.
They are so close.
Yeah, Dishka opening up onto the BTR. It's hitting it right in the rear, which is where its armor is the weakest.
Not too many of them actually hit.
No.
It's still in the green.
I assume two is
So
gonna be
successful
a
run
return
from the
attack
BTR. They took out one of the lodges, and nobody was able to respond in turn and take that out. I think they had Mr. Moneyman and Chris HXC CB in the area to try and prevent this, but they just weren't in proper position.
So it looks like they're trying to deploy their SPG techie, but it's actually stuck inside of the little bunker they made it, or made into their defense point. Or they might have just been setting up to go in a nice ambush position. That would have been nice if he was there about 40 seconds ago. He would have most definitely got a shot off onto that BTR.
Yep, I can see
Oh,
that.
and Karma's choice for his additional techie was not a Dishka techie, was not an extra SPG techie. It was the rocket techie. So he just went for more artillery. He was not content with just mortars. He wants the rockets to lay down a barrage onto the Russians as they push.
Classic Karma way right there. The more explosives, the better.
How many people are in the game? We are at 73 people in this game. About 4 of us are event admin / commentators. So about 68, 70 people in the game actually playing. Does this game have a prize pool or tournaments? Unfortunately, no. Well, I don't know if that's actually unfortunately, just no.
One's on the roof.
Well, probably command.
Alright, command, I disperse from that location.
Karma is my spirit animal. Your spirit animal is a fob building mortar machine.
Okay, yeah, just put south from where you're at.
Karma gets a ladder up to the rooftop, and this is classic Karma as well, just so greedy for information. He puts himself out in the open, in position to get one-tapped by the right people. Yeah, like Churls or Atomic Peach may be able to see this, maybe even Daroba, and that would be all she wrote for the militia command if he stays up here.
That would be really unfortunate if he took a 14-5 from the BTR, maybe passing by real fast. You know, just one taps him. That's a big round to hit someone. Doesn't matter where you get hit with that one.
Karmakut and artillery, name a more iconic duo. You've got me beat, Club Bendy. You've got me beat. Yep, that's just going to be Karma. He's going to die up here. I can almost guarantee it. Karmakut is going to die on this roof as he's scouting for information. The militia, or the Russian squad who's pushed up to the road, led by Atomic Peach, is content sitting here and waiting for the rest of his platoon to get in position. And as we say that, the BTR is on the east, along with Squad 1, and they are going to come in from the east. And this is actually not a terrible spot. They've got plenty of tree cover to move in from. And as long as this BTR gets out of there, I think the BTR is going to give the position away if he doesn't move. And the MTOB is in the area as well. I can hear it. There it is.
So we have Russian Squad 3 here, the guys on the far west. And they're moving through this tree line, and they're going to get behind the main fortification of this one squad that is like a little pillbox setup.
Audible on techies.
However, it looks like they did send like scouting militia out. Oh no, Dishka opens up fire. You're on the tailing trooper.
James range. Yeah, but if that's all they spot, that leaves James range to just sit there and soak up a couple Dishka rounds. That leaves about 5-6 people to keep maneuvering. But they've got ammo bearer, ricochet man, moving to intercept and stop them from running up this other tree line.
Hotel 869.
I would expect that we're going to see mortars landing on these positions pretty dang soon.
Yeah, he's very quick to respond with mortars. I'd like to see him get off that roof eventually. It's a very risky position.
Engaging right now.
RPG goes up because why not?
Mortars
It's all-
out. Let's
yeah,
see how
mortars.
accurate these are.
From the farmhouse or
No,
Oh, that RPG just was super, super low.
It is a really long shot with very level terrain, though. That's a hard one to hit. Oh, maybe it gets in your aims? No, it's barely short.
Sweep west from my current position.
Pretty accurate, to be fair. They've only got to shift that, drop it like 3 degrees, maybe, or if, just to kill James range. If not, I'd shift it about 5 degrees to the left.
but have those guys push out of the border
Yeah,
area.
they're moving their guys east now. They're telling them
Be careful
fall
getting
back.
up there, you're
They're going to be
definitely
waiting
contact that area,
until I think the rest of the squads get in position to attack, as they don't want to just be killed off
They are
before
looking
there's an
south,
ability for anyone
not
else to
really looking
retaliate.
northwest or east. Looking or west, I mean.
Oh, he's just gonna keep mortaring. I think he's mortaring a tree line. He thinks they're gonna try and move up to.
Yeah, I think that's what they're actually doing. Versus the Russians they're in it for the long haul.
Position now?
Yeah,
And the
we're
Russians immediately break contact and they're gonna move out.
Alright,
Looks like
have
Mr.
Mortar push
Moneyman
up,
and his friend, who's
stand by.
Chris, yeah,
Sugar,
Chris,
where's your MTOB
Chris,
at?
are in position to catch this squad as they
Say
move.
again?
But that's
MTOB.
2 against 6.
MTOB is
Odds on in their favor,
hanging
2 against
back
7, I
in,
should say.
J9 at the moment. I haven't put it up yet.
It's like the Russians who are on the far east side have moved around south to the rest of the militia.
We're getting too close to
I
the
don't know if they've
fob,
been
though.
identified. I don't think they have been.
Here, where's your BTR?
No, they've not been identified.
You said where am I at? I'm directly on squad one.
No, they are firing though.
Okay,
So now they know.
keep their heads down. We're gonna have 2 and 4 in now.
Alright,
I hear the
MTOB
BTR. There it is.
We're taking fire pretty heavy.
Squad 3 is just gonna function as a
Roger,
flank
4 is
squad
in there.
for
2
now,
and 4
I
are
believe.
pushing in now.
They need to maintain their rear security. Where Chris and Mr. Moneyman are gonna come up and just wreck this. It's a little bigger than a fire team, but it's essentially a fire team.
This BTR has shown that he is not afraid to shoot at anything that moves in that forest. Literally any leaf that moves, he's gonna shoot at.
Damien spots Chris and Mr. Moneyman, so this flank is bunked.
No longer a flank.
Yeah. We'll see if they can deal with them effectively.
H1 have 3 enemy squad leaders.
I think this is going to be a very stagnant squad right here. The guys in the far east, the ones we're watching currently with the BTR.
Isn't
And I think this is a perfect opportunity for Karma to use his mortars.
their fob is quite big, stretches out north to south. So we're engaging the southern or northern one
Yep.
currently.
Hit the northern bunk, the northern comp first. That's where the
Chris goes
their
down,
commando
Mr.
went.
Moneyman, left on his own, and I don't picture that being long for this road. I'd like to see Atomic Peach either lay down a base of fire and cross this street, or remaneuver. Right now they are sitting here, and as soon as they get spotted, they're going to be sitting ducks if they try and run away.
Looks like the Russians on the north side are getting ready for a main push here. I'm not sure if they're waiting for mortars, or I think the command actually had abandoned the mortars as they couldn't place down another radio. So they're going mortarless. So technically both times they weren't able to use mortars now.
Both rounds, the Russians were not able to use mortars effectively. Karma has great security from the south and the north. They're not going to be able to come in from either direction. They're going to have to come in from the either the east or the west.
Russians are pushing
This
here.
eastern push, they're crawling up. Orange and Sting Boss, Strong Boss, Sting Boss.
Yeah, I'm shifting.
Russians
I'm
are
coming
moving. They're moving up on their what is this? Their west? Yep, and they get spotted. Spotted by a saw gunner here.
They cross the street. Yeah, right as I said, Atomic Peach needs to move. They start moving.
Mortars land just behind them. Wow, they are. That's a
Very,
good
very
job for them
fortunate.
being able to move. Yeah.
But they're still out in the open. Hopefully they can draw enough attention for these guys on the west to push in. Guys on the west now need to be aggressive and get in there. There's a squad 4 led by HML.
Yeah, Roger. Just maneuver your way, or however you can. But those mortars are gonna be.
And these BTRs and MTLB, they need to start firing. They need to get in the action. They need to be aggressive. Frag out by HML.
Command better move, at least to get himself mortared. Yeah, he's doing it. He's getting out of there. He's getting out of dodge. And it looks like the main squad on the west has caused a distraction for the eastern squad to move up. That's HML.
Yep.
There's
HML
Yeah,
is
they're on
now on the walls. They've got plenty of people on the wall. They can just start tossing grenades and pushing through these guys. But it's not going to be an easy task with so many defenses they've got to push through. But they're
Like,
making it
Post
work.
took
They've
out
got at least
SL.
2-3 kills so far.
Alright, we could
Karma's
use
being
vehicles
aggressive
closer
here.
to
He's
the
pushing right up against the fence where there is Russians. He kills one with his SKS.
Behind. Southeast.
He saw him. He saw him through the hole in that wall.
And yeah, Karma kills another one as well.
They're spread out. They're not-
Polish almost sneaks up behind him, but he's got men on his back and just blasting him away.
HML, have your BTR ready to engage the targets.
SKS, it's been one of my favorite guns in this game. I don't know what it is about it, but it just feels so controllable.
There's an opening on me on the opening on me on the north.
Remove the beat towards the position. North.
However,
H-
this
HML's
southern
calling for a hole. He says he has a hole in the north, and that it is correct. There is a hole in the north. The Atomic Peach's squad needs to divert into the area and just pour into this gap that he has. They've cleared out everybody on the northern end of the compound, and it's going to be much easier for the Russians to clear through
Alright,
when they
everyone
have
should fire. We
the
are
same
inside
defenses
right
that the
now.
militia have.
One enemy ladsman extended on my
However,
SUV.
I mean, they're going to spend a long time to clear each one of these mortar bunkers, and they have no idea who's alive, who's dead. But there is no one. There is no one in these compounds that are alive. It's everyone who's up in this northern, like where the actual buildings are.
Karma, it's
Meanwhile,
pretty
the
screwed here,
squad-
honestly, that's what Broken Website says, and I don't see it that way. If this BTR can get some fire down, maybe. But there's only about 2-3 people in the area to immediately exploit this hole that they have. So Karma's
It's like
platoon can easily
during-
push out.
During that northern push, the southern flank on the east side has moved around, and they've tried to walk across this open field, is what it appears to, and use the tree line to get up close to the militia, and they got absolutely mowed down, only having 3 men remaining.
Well, you're fighting. You're
And the
shooting
militia
coming
or
out
the
from
MTLB has
opposite
also been
directions.
hit. It's smoking. Let's see if we can see if it's health. Yeah, it's about halfway. Meanwhile, on the west,
Dude,
they've
can you
killed
push upward?
the one militia. There's one left. They have guys in rear security though, so he'll go down. Meanwhile, the rest of the Russians are getting
HML
fire.
is done clearing out these fire
Cleared
bunkers.
northern end. We're on the compound proper. Northern end is
He doesn't have enough men to push into there.
Slowly push south
Yeah,
to
he's
there,
got Zaki and Liberal Pundit with him.
One, how's it going?
I've got a fire team moving up on the east. My buddy are set up in a 2-story on the red building.
HML goes down, spotted through this wooden wall. There's bullet penetration now, guys. It's been around for a little bit, and these wooden walls are not any kind of good cover.
Two, are you getting engaged?
Your grenade goes out. I don't know where it landed. It might be just far of Zaki. No, Zaki puts out in the open and he gets grenaded.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
an unlucky turn of events for Zaki there.
Yeah, that leaves Liberal Pundit out on his own. I don't like the route Atomic Peach has decided to take. He's tried to get them to cross another street, and rather than pushing into the compound and the hole that HML had created for them and moving through cover, they're just moving out in the open trying to use smoke for concealments. It's a very
And now they have
One and three.
now they have 2 fronts to fight. You know, they have the guys to the direct south, and they have guys to their east as well in the main compound. They put themselves in a worse position than what they already were.
Yeah, I'd much rather them have listened to HML. HML had called that they had created a hole for them to push into, and then that's where they should be focusing their efforts rather than being as spread out as they are.
Yeah, at the time they should have, picked up camp and book it east to go and help out HML with his main push. Looks like Karma is getting him and a buddy team to go ahead and push out. Or no, it's Lats to deal with the BTR. Saloon's lining up a shot here. It goes out and it hits the BTR. Saloon goes down.
Hits them, but I don't think that's a kill. I don't think that's a kill.
That was
a side shot.
We took a last shot. I'm pushing to you.
Karma presently have mortars for the team sitting in the tree line. I'm not exactly sure where the mortars are, but I can tell you the mortars are not firing right now. They're really concerned. Oh, I spoke too soon and I wasn't listening. Those mortars are firing. Let's go ahead and spot where those are. BTR is going to drive off. They take a lat shot for their troubles.
This mortar's landed
mortars
just
are
to
in
the
the main
south
compound.
here.
Alright, we're too spread out now.
Where they were shooting off at least where the targets landed. Wasn't near any real contact. This MTOB is causing a great distraction for the rest of, oh man, I don't know what squad this is. Squad 1 to get back onto their original flank where they should have gone. They should have pushed through this tree line and used that hill to their advantage. But now they just winded off how many people they have, and they're not going to have a good push.
Quick update on the body count. Speak of the devil. We've got about 15 downs for the Russians and about 17 downs for the Militia. Still within 2 kills of each other. So it's still anybody's game, but I feel like Militia are in the more commanding position. I'm going to go ahead and zoom very high up, get us a nice overhead shot of everything, just so we can get an idea of where everybody is, and then I'll zoom right back down. It looks like a majority of the Militia are in the compound, with about a squad to the north defending the tree line. They've also got a fire team in an OP to the sorry, this is the southwest. There's no Russians on the north part of the compound. Most of them are on the west, southwest, and southeast. But they are very split up, and they're just getting torn apart.
I think this Russian fire team is about to walk out into the open where this Dishka can see them. Yeah, he hears them shooting. Come on, identify the target.
One, how are you doing?
Nah, he can't see through that.
James can't really spot it.
He sees him. There it goes.
He's
Is
hitting
this
his own
round
stuff.
stopped by the barbed wire?
He's hitting the metal part of the barbed wire. The stands.
The 1/8 inch steel is stopping at 50 cal? Yeah.
No, like real life.
Yeah. Of course. There you go. Some rounds are making it through. Not many though.
Mortars, they didn't have the supplies to deploy mortars. I assume they ran out of supplies and they weren't able to get it any closer. I'd like to see these this MTOB and that BCR get a little more aggressive right now. They're just not pulling their weight. I feel they could definitely be used a little more effectively.
They can totally be ammo sinks as well. Like a big part of armor that I don't think a lot of people realize is that there's a reason why they call it armor, and you definitely want to share that armor. You want to soak up some of the firepower from the enemies, so that way they don't shoot as much stuff at your infantry, which is what really is going to do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, like old school World War I introduction of tanks kind of combat. Like just get in there, let your guys get in, follow behind you, soak up those shots, and allow the infantry to get into a better position. Because right now they're having to fight tree to tree, and it's just not working out for them. They're just getting slowly picked apart. There's 3 men plus an MTOB on the southeast flank. There's about a squad on the southwest, and there's less than a fire team on the north. Right now they need to reconsolidate.
What I have to say about the Russians' attack is they found an entry point, and they didn't scout it out too much. They didn't see what type of paths they had to go through to get to their main objective, or what type of defensive structures they were going against. And then they realized how much of a bad position they put themselves in, lost a couple men, and now they're retreating and going the way they should have went from the beginning. And now they lost too many men in that initial attack for them to do anything.
Yeah, I think HML had the opening created for them, and that's what they should have exploited, and they just didn't. They just didn't, and that opportunity may be lost at this point.
This Dishka, he's just trying to find lawn darts. I think lawn darts about shooting an RPG right at this Dishka. It goes right over.
Mortars
I don't know
even
where it landed.
From this fire team that he has on the north, just chasing them away.
Matt, Bub, and Rook, they're crawling south. They're using their smoke as cover.
Repeat that command. I have gunshots going to my ear. You want us to load up and move northeast? Yes.
Lon is in range to throw smokes on these guys' positions. If he throws a frag, he could totally kill this 50 cal gunner. Except, no, he can't because he's a rocketeer. He doesn't have any frags.
2 rounds tonight. This is the first thing. There are 2 rounds tonight, and this is the second round. We are probably a little more than halfway through this second round at this point. Kills are slowly starting to edge in the Militia's favor as they have the defender's advantage, and they're able to just sit there and wait for the Russians to push them.
Londard sees this 50 cal gunner. He's gonna be able to pop him off. He's really close to him. He's trying.
Mortars have been shifted from the north to the southwest, near Londard's position. Sorry, southeast.
Oh, the disc is firing on Lon now.
But the invincible barbed wire is stopping him.
Yes, the barbed wire is impenetrable due to 50 cals. I hear a nade pin get pulled. I'm not sure where they
Grenade goes
landed.
out, yeah, on Landart's position. Oh,
Ooh, just barely.
not far enough.
I think Lon's bleeding though. Yeah. Mortar's coming in. It lands almost right on top of them. It kills Lon. Yeah, Lon's
it took
down.
out Landarts. The first shot took out Landarts. The other two were just for flavor. Never say repeat for commands though, as that is meant for mortars.
And push those northern buildings.
What do you say to? Do you say again or something then, Desert Dog?
Copy
For
that.
them,
You
if you
did,
didn't
copy
catch
that
what they
Bob
said.
location, right?
Yeah.
I think
What
it's
is
just
the
repeat
proper
last,
I
right?
think Shook
re-
passed down a
reply?
while ago.
Alright, roger that.
Looks like Matt,
Alright,
Matt,
touchdown,
Bob,
Matt.
and
Say
Rock.
again.
Say again. Yeah. See. Yeah.
Roger.
Figured it out. Say again. Yeah. It looks like Rook and Matt Bob are the only ones left on this flank.
Meanwhile, on the north side, they're moving up the exact same route that HML took, except what is this now?
That's,
About
15
15
minutes
men
too
shorter.
late.
that
Yeah,
shows clear
and
that
about
I think they're
15
out
men
there.
down from what it should have been.
Yeah.
But Karma has not pushed those guys
Out,
back
outside
out
out
to
the
reinforce the position, and they can easily
Got it.
sneak right back through.
Me and my guy are still on the way.
They're gonna push into that southern forces, and they're gonna be expecting contact. There's just nothing there. There's absolutely no contact. It's a barren wasteland. It's only once you get to the actual compound where it actually has contact.
One, get the remainder of guys over to.
I think, yeah, the entire south side has been murdered by a small amount of militia that probably pushed out. Dude, this is Mister. That was the guy who was way over here on the far west a long time ago, and I guess he just made his way back, picking off Russia as he moves in. Let me see how many kills he had. He has 3. He has 3 kills, which is quite a lot for one life event. And yeah, it looks like
So,
the guys on
Hero
the
has
southwest moved up north.
Ditch the BTR. The BTR is now unmanned. You got Hero and Mertlino on their own as they try and figure out what they need to do. But they're on their own. And I'm trying to find. I feel like there's a large chunk. There's this large chunk. They got picked up in the MTOB and they got repositioned on the southeast. I'd like to see these guys get picked up and repositioned on command. And from there, once they're a little more consolidated, they might have a solid chance of at least getting into the main compound and clearing out the remainder of the militia. Because on the actual point, I count 6. Yeah, exactly 6. You got Triton, Best Pony, Sphinx, Submo, Kool-Aid Man, and Karmakut are the only ones defending the compound proper. Everybody else is on the outskirts and in different OPs.
Wait, one.
What are we at right now? We're at 15 for the Russians and 20 for the militia, so it's not too far off. However, the Russians are on the attack, so at this point, you want to see the Russians be higher in the kills, a little bit more in favor of the Russians, for it to be a pretty confirmed opt for the Russians. But I think this is going to swing to the militia's manner just because of the amount of defenses they were able to build.
Maybe tactical somewhere south of me, and
Yeah,
I was like
it's-
west of.
Yeah, it's flanking the M2. It's the SPG tech.
They heard the techie.
Roger. One
They're
moving,
they're
yep.
freaking out over the techie. The techie is in fact
PLB,
a
and I think
logistics
I got
techie.
3 on the ground.
Roger.
Very,
I have
very
eyes on
classic
SPG tech.
to
It's about 20 meters
most
Overreact.
contacts we
I'm
called
gonna
out.
sneak up right up to
Yeah,
him, pop the guy.
Overreact. You see one guy, command. We've got a full squad on my position. We're taking heavy fire. They haven't shot yet.
The 3 men, the whole entire team is right in our 6. They're about to
Seriously,
sneak up
we're
on us.
pushing.
We need assistance immediately.
All squads will push. It's on,
They're running. This fire
Oh,
team
the
is
50
running
kills one.
right. Almost
Oh.
takes out 2. Yeah, right
Yeah,
as
these
they
guys are
run through
almost
the
on
open.
line.
Mr. Adams takes out Billy.
Hero.
He's trying to take out Elite, but the MTOB is returning fire. Traces work both ways, Mr. Adams.
going through a field. Pretty sure I'm in the middle of all of them.
At 50 cal. He's gonna be worried about the MTLB. He's in it. He should see him. Yeah, there you go. Shots going on it. Pop up the name tag so you can see its health. He's hitting the ground just below it.
Oh, shit,
Yeah, he's laying it right into the ground.
There it goes. There it goes.
Yeah.
We're going push.
Oh, yeah, he's got to reload.
No,
You know,
Silas said he's out of ammo. You heard him. I heard him shouting. He's out of ammo.
Wow.
The MTLB is now out of ammo. They're gonna ditch and they're just gonna try and move in on foot.
Mr. Sauce get toasted by the 50.
Silas is in position to take out Mr. Adams, and he needs to do so. But
Matt
for the
Bob
rest
throws
of
a
the-
nade. It goes far. It does wound him,
almost
though.
far enough.
Yes, that 50 cal is now decrewed. I think actually for the benefit of Mr. Adams. That's going to allow him to actually stay alive longer than if he was on that 50 cal. Oh, the nade takes him out just as soon as he was peeking. It's a good nade on their part. Well, the
And
Russian part, I should
Dwarf
say.
has finally reached the compound that HML took almost 20 minutes ago at this point.
On the objective.
And they are now in a vaulting over Wolfie on point, followed by Daruba.
Command, still on the roof. Come on, please turn around, Wolfie.
Classic. Wolfie, please, Wolfie, please turn around and see him.
Please, someone please see Karma on the
look.
roof.
Just look.
Dorf sees him. He kills
goes
Karma. Hey, squad 5. That's actually Command. Command
Yeah.
killed Command there.
Man,
Wow.
kills the man.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're so close. 165. Native going out.
Yep, they're close.
Toss them knees, Rick.
They're coming.
Wow.
to our
So
west.
yeah, they've
They're
mowed
my
through
west
this. I'm not sure how many casualties the Russians have taken on this attack. I think it's only one.
Dwarf
Ricochet
taken out
kills
by
Dorf.
Ricochet.
Yep. Wolfie's going for the hard push. He pays for it. Ricochet pistoled him with a Makarov. That thing has almost no ammo. Ah, nice shot on his part.
And this push is about stopped. Daruba's the only one in the immediate compound. We've got Wellum, J-Tech, and Silas, the only ones left on the southeast. We got Mr. Hero, Mertlino, the only people left on the southwest, and Daruba, the only one alive, immediately on the point, surrounded by militia. And I think this is almost all she wrote, unless these guys can pull off some amazing kills.
Yeah, they've really got to go slow and fast, though, at the same time. Like, they got to think every single little action out, but they got to be fast about it. So what the decision they make doesn't have to change while they're doing it.
One, how are you doing?
Right now, we're at 21 for the Russians
Two
and
effective, one in the
28
MTLB.
for the militia.
And at the beginning, I just feel like I have to say,
Scratch that.
I said Karma was going to die on that roof.
Yeah.
I said it.
Totally said it.
We're right on
Karma
the
died
wall.
on the roof.
It's looking pretty light.
You know, the SPG
Daruba's
tech
on
big
the
out.
Daruba's on the fob.
Why is he digging?
Digging. Why is he digging? Oh,
He got him!
faked him out.
Wow!
Takes out Kool-Aid Man.
Ingenious play right there.
Who's
I think it's a
left? Who's
pistol
left
out.
in the area? There's
We got
only a couple.
two.
left.
No, we got 4.
They're on the other side.
Alright.
He's
Yeah.
gonna start digging. He's gonna start digging.
No, he better pull out his main gun.
SPG tech, it's just the driver.
Oh, pistol kills.
Easy.
No,
No.
yeah,
way.
I was like, that is as a long range pistol kill. That's not gonna. He hurt. Yeah, he hurt Ricochet Man, but at that range, he should have had a rifle out. I don't think he had any ammo left to fire on. The only people left on the map, we
Nade
got
goes in.
J-Tech, Silas on one
See, I'm
flank,
still
Hero
close.
and Mertlino on the other.
I'm still here.
That's 4 people left against
Have you guys located the radio? Negative.
So
about
one of them
9
just left the techie.
9 militia.
Yeah, I mean, it is a doable thing. At least they're all falling back to the main compound. It's totally the right move right there.
Yeah. 10 militia against 4 Russians. It is possible. It is very possible, but they need to regroup and they need to rethink their strategy. And they gotta hope that they catch some of these militiamen with their pants down, just not watching their angles.
But I think by the time the Russians start to move into attack at this point, it's not going to be feasible for them. They're going to be already set up. They know what angles they need to watch over and, who has their back.
If they make choices like this, though, like Ammo Bear being on the roof as Karma was, They can pick off some people from range, I'd say.
Especially like as far out as he is, like he's sticking out on the far end, where it's all open, instead of staying on the backside where you can use it as cover.
Who's up for the command? Silent is up for command. So their command structure is not completely down. Like Silent's there too. Well, Silent's going to take point as is what he does, and he may get taken out unnecessarily. But if he's there to give these guys a little bit of a push in the right direction, this might work for them.
He's running in between you guys.
Yep, Hero spotted him.
One running northeast of me apparently. It's an SL.
Northeast.
Yeah, they spotted Silas
here
or
comes
Silent.
I have no
I'm not sure
visual.
where these guys are firing off as.
Can you imagine
Full
if enemy
automatic.
vehicles could be taken advantage of, same as weapons gear? Some ops, we do allow vehicle stealing, Desert Dog. We do on some of our ops, and in our mod,
Going
we
automatic,
allow
I
where you
think
can
so.
take the enemy vehicles.
Yep.
I'm not sure on this map or on this op.
I'm not 100% on that one either.
I don't think it says no.
I'm scared.
Yeah, but the
So-
mod allows
Was
for
he
it.
in this fortification with me?
So
Oh,
they
there's a squad there on
could
the left.
take the vehicles if they want. This guy has a clear shot on 2 men right now. That's the new command Silent and his buddy.
We need to kill them.
Hold on. There's another.
They both have the crewman kit, so they barely have any ammo.
Oh, Appa goes down.
You hear the gunfire? That's where they're at.
Oh, he kills one. And I think he's wounding Silent there.
Yeah, Silent has
He
been
takes-
tagged. And if they're gonna push out and be as aggressive as they were,
Yeah, I got shot, but I'm alright.
Hero and Mortar, they both only have 2 mags. Actually, no, they have the recruitment kits, and we changed it in the mod. I remember this
Yeah, I'm sorry.
because there's a debate about it. They actually have 6 mags instead of the normal 2, so they have almost the same amount as a normal rifleman. So they are effective once they leave their vehicle.
Just 2. Technical moving south towards you. I see it. It's on far northwest.
Total bushwookie mode for this guy right here.
I don't like
There's a
how
guy
aggressive they're
on that
trying to be. The militia need to just go back, fall back, and take position.
Yeah, another one down.
Their spot.
Another one in the
Yeah,
indirect
and
fire
Silas is
shelter
just
over
picking
here.
them down,
I think all
picking them
contacts
apart.
here are
These
west.
Russian optics are just
Oh, no, they're not
amazing.
south.
Oh,
Yeah,
Silas
the
takes out
Cobra
somebody.
Hollow sight is an amazing optic. It's so good in this game because you know exactly where your rounds gonna land. It's right at the tip.
Ooh,
A
Silas
nade
goes
from
down to a
Silent.
grenade. Yeah, Silent takes out Silas with a grenade, leaving J-Tech, Mert Lino, and Hero the only ones left.
I think we had a time where there was Silent, Silas, and Silent. No. What was it? Yeah, no, was it Silent Death, Silent, and Silas all SLing, and it was extremely confusing. So we're down to 3 Russians here.
I just got here. It's Karma Blue 4 up, or Karma was up for this round. Unfortunately, he got caught peeking for more information, and it just didn't work out for him. He went down. His platoon is in a very good spot though, leaving only 3. There's only 3 Russians left. The Russians are in blue. Militia is in red.
I wonder if this Russian knows that he's pulling out some wizardry here and is
I got-
floating all crouched.
I think. Nope, I didn't get him.
Silent, he's gonna flank this guy. He's gonna flank J-Tech. Oh no, Hero gets him
Great
on
crossfire.
the militia flake. Yeah, great job on his part. Now he's just got to find out that Silence with him. These
Red
crawling
is
beasts are
militia.
extremely
yes.
loud.
Red is militia. Blue is the Russians.
There's, I think we got 3 left. Yeah, we got Morto, Hero, and J-Tech. J-Tech has a lat.
J-Tech is the only one left on this flank. He was cut out with Silas, and he has a lat for some reason. I think he's gonna put one. Yeah, he's gonna put one in that indirect fire shelter. Wasn't sure
Pull out
if
his
he took out the guy.
AK fast.
So quick overhead view. We've got Hero Mertlino in the on the west. We've got J-Tech on the east. Silent, the only man between them and the remaining Russians, or remaining militiamen. And I count 4 on the point.
Yeah, we're at
Is that everybody?
28 for the Russians and 31 for the militia. So Russians have closed up this gap quite a bit. I think Silent sees JTech here.
3 on 5 right now, and if JTech can even this out, this can swing. It is the Russians have slowly started to pull this back. I'd be interested to see what happens with the remainder of this round. And it's at this point where communication is key. You can hear Hero and his counterpart just in constant communication with each other. They're trying to get closer to JTech so they can draw him into that line of communication.
I think JTech is going to get flanked though by Silent, but they're rotating around each other.
JTech's worried about this guy in the bunker, but he sees this body. He knows this guy's dead.
Yep. Now, I mean, he's got to figure out that Silent has moved to JTech's old position. At least I think. No, Silent has just moved actually farther out east. He actually hasn't moved south where JTech came from.
Passing like ships in the night. I demand close range use of the artillery truck. If they were to get in the artillery truck now, I figured that he would immediately die.
Silent
JTech's not
sees
looking.
JTech, and he takes out. Oh wow! It was just the wrong time for JTech to move. I mean, they were both moving at the same time, but Silent, he was watching the right direction.
Yeah.
So where was Hero and Mert? There's Hero.
Hero and Mert Loney moving to take moving through this old militia OP. But this forces them to move through the open for a long time, for a very long time, and it's not great. This is not a great position. I'd much rather than have tried to cross the street and hook up with JTech. Then they might have been able to take out Silent.
And there goes Mert. He's going to run over through the open. Or maybe they're going to crawl through the open. I'm not sure.
They're just going to be out of stamina by the time they get going. Mortar's out. We'll see where these decide to land. Nobody in a... Oh, what? 2 people, Ammo Bearer and Mr. Moneyman on the roof, sitting ducks if Hero can get a good line up. Silent going to come in on the flank. We'll see what happens. We'll see where these mortars land. Where the mortars land will tell us where they know people are. Yeah, they have no idea where people are.
Yeah, I think they're going to totally see these guys on the roof once they crawl up to the line here.
Not Hero, who's Ammo Bearer is kind of looking in the right direction, but he's looking more towards the barn at the southwest, not looking almost direct west at this point as Hero and Mertlino pull up.
I think as soon as Hero peeks this, he might be able to see him on the roof.
Yeah,
yep.
Mortars.
Mert just called it.
Prove they don't know where they are. We'll see if Mert
Hero
can
sees
get a
him as
one
well.
tap. It's got to be a one tap. And then
Both
they
have
can
binos. No.
Oh, yeah, they took him out.
Oh, yeah, they got him.
Yeah. Very, very good shots by them.
So they got 3 men inside the compound that they have to deal with. Silent is gonna move on that. The shots though. These militia, if they peek on to Hero, it's not gonna work out for them.
Silence in a
However, we
position
got
to see
one
Mert
man.
now. I think Silence sees
Yeah.
him.
Oh, you got him. That was the FTL kit. Manta, who has the basically a reduced designated marksman rifle. It's the exact same thing the British get, except with less zoom. I think, yeah, that's everyone.
Yep, that was Hero and Mertlino go down almost at the same time. Great job for the militia to pull this one off. Very, very close. It was down to 4 right at the end.